Yeah, so I want to focus on that a little bit more. Why Remix, right? Because I've seen a lot of people become very passionate about this framework. And,
Yeah.
for us React soy devs, we might not understand. So I would love you to pitch in and explain why should folks pay attention to it.
Yeah, so doesn't really make sense anymore because Remix is dead, right? Sorry. Sorry, Brooks, if you're listening.
Dude, you got a book. Your publisher is gonna come down and just. You're a remix guy, right? You wouldn't have by any chance actually written a book on that. Because nobody would be crazy enough to write a book on remix, right?
No, yeah. Like that would be crazy because we all know how quickly web dev stuff is changing. So
Right?
trying to write something in the matter of a year for it then just to change on you a couple of times, like everybody would tell you this doesn't make sense. So
Yeah, exactly. But you did do that.
Crying. Yes, I did write a book about Remix.
How was... I mean, you basically teed up your own question. The web dev community is like, I mean, even now with age of AI, it's changing like literally like 3 times a day. People are vibe coding their own JS frameworks and plugins and stuff like that. So what inspired you to write the book on Remix?
I got the opportunity and then I thought about it a little bit and said yes. That's the TLDR. But yeah, I think people learn in very different ways. And I'm personally like a video person. So like if I want to learn something, I could never read a book. Like that just doesn't work for me. I have to watch a video, maybe a podcast, right? But some concepts can be very nicely explained in text. So I have a blog and I've been writing blog posts for a long time already. And from just like studying way too long, like I wrote a master's thesis, right? I wrote a bachelor thesis. Like I'm very used to working on a text-based thingy for way too long and being frustrated about it. So like that's all, I was all used to that already. And then the things that I'm excited about Remix are very timeless. So like for instance, use the platform, why you should have a server in front of your SPA, all of these kind of concepts. So I thought that writing them down could be a little bit more timeless than just the iteration of the framework. That said, though, Remix has changed a ton since it came out like over a year ago. So I would not recommend anybody to buy the book anymore. And I'm currently thinking about what I should do if it's worth it, like doing a second iteration or something else.
A sequel.
Yeah, exactly. Like edition 2, I guess. But yeah, so I love Remix because of like the philosophy behind it. And the book is mostly about that. And obviously it goes through how you do stuff as Remix. But I think if you're really interested in what web standards can, like how web standards can be used in modern web applications, that's mainly the focus of the book.
Yeah, so I want to focus on that a little bit more. Why Remix, right? Because I've seen a lot of people become very passionate about this framework. And, for us React soy devs, we might not understand. So I would love you to pitch in and explain why should folks pay attention to it.
Yeah, so doesn't really make sense anymore because Remix is dead, right? Sorry, Brooks, if you're listening.
Dude, you got a book. Your publisher is gonna come down and just...
No. Okay, I tell you the story about this. But okay, first of all, why Remix? I feel like in general, there's something to be said about taste, right? We all have very different tastes, or just like the experience that led us to where we are right now. And then we look at different tools that we could use, and we all have different opinions what's like just fits our mind better, right? Some people really prefer Svelte over Vue over React. And I think this is just another example of this where I moved to the US. I didn't have much to do. Ryan Florence started posting about this new cool thing he's working on. I watched all his videos because he's really good at breaking things down and explaining. I loved it. I really thought there's something for me to learn, right? Like, oh, you can use web standards and React and you don't have to solve every problem with the 4 React hooks you have. Like you can actually use, I don't know, the URL or something.
Right.
So there was just a lot for me to gain, right? And that's why I bought the Remix license before it was open source and joined their Discord and just like hang around in the community just because like I got a lot out of it. So I kind of grew up this Remix that way. And at this point, I'm just really good at it. So obviously you can use Next.js, and Next.js and Remix now have very similar features. And 10 stack start is also having a very like similar approach, right? Like they all different, like very nuanced way. So it's really hard to compare them.
Right.
But in the day you can build the same grade of applications with them. And I just picked Remix because it was at the right time. I was at the right space. I picked it. Now I'm good at it. So why would I use anything else?
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
breakdown.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I also just like my brain, I guess, works the Remix way, which is like, oh, you have a loader where you do stuff on the server and you pass stuff down to a component. It's like, but then you have a form that like does a mutation that goes to an action. And once the action is done, the loader is reloaded and your data is automatically revalidated. So that's like the pitch for Remix, right? It's like this like nice circle of data flow, and just like it's super simple and it gets you really, really far without a lot of the chaos you have if you have to manage all that state in React components.
Right. Would it be accurate to say that it's just React router in framework mode?
It is literally super accurate, because what they did is they were like, okay, we have a router, we have a lot of experience, let's build a framework. They built Remix, iterated over 2 versions on it, and then realized they could move a lot of that stuff back into React Router. So that's what they did. And now React Router Framework World is everything that was Remix over the past years. So when I talk about Remix, I'm actually using React Router, right? So like there's no more Remix package right now. It's all React Router. That's why people say Remix is dead, because it's React Router.
Interesting. So yeah. It's like it's just taken everything learned, bundled it up, and put into React Router Framework.
Yeah. So the last version of React Router is Remix. But why would you need to name it Remix now if it's in the React Router packages, right? So like the team is still called the Remix team that was acquired by Shopify. The meetups and community, the philosophy, I guess, is still all referred to as Remix, but the packages you install right now are all React Router.